Dallas has mentioned you multiple times on the show.
Would you rather take Jrue Holiday or Luka? Jrue, I got you, bud. What are your thoughts on Jrue on the defensive end? Elite, the best. Jrue hit the game winner.
Jrue Holiday.
Best. I miss Jrue.
Podcast P fam, welcome back to another episode of Podcast P, a Wave Sports and Entertainment original presented to you by Prize Picks. And I'm joined by my guys, of course, Jackie Long.
Boo.
And Dallas Rutherford. And boy, do we have another special guest today. Please welcome to the show a pump and run legend, a West Coast legend, for the first time, two-time NBA champion, and who I think is the best high school basketball player I've ever seen. Southern Cal's own Jrue Holiday. Hey, that's no cap. That's no cap, Jrue.
Hey, that's a hell of an intro. Not a lot of y'all.
A hell of an intro. Well deserved. Well deserved. That's no cap. I tell everybody that I talk to and everybody that like asks about you, hands down the best high school player I've seen. Like, when I came from Palmdale and I got put on that team, and I thought I was the shit in Palmdale, right? Like, these dudes down here, they can't fuck with me. And then I go and play with y'all, and I'm like, man, this is levels. I understand his levels now. This dude is awesome. I ain't seen nobody play with their left hand like that. Come to find out, you damn near left-handed. So I got to give you your flowers on that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. That was a long time ago, though. You way better than me now.
Cut it out, bro. Cut it out. Two-time champion. I can't compete with that.
No, you got the whole package. You got the whole package, my boy. Very, very
appreciate that.
I love it. I love it about your game.
Appreciate that, bro. We got to cut into it because, like we've stated earlier, Dallas has mentioned you multiple times on the show. And I think for up to this point, fans know that you guys have a relationship. But just from your point of view, how close and how deep does this connection goes with you and Dallas?
I mean, I grew up going to Dallas's church. Our pops played together. Which Dallas's pops could hoop a little bit. We played in the
church. You got a little game?
Shout out Dudley. Shout out Dudley.
Yeah. Dudley got a little game.
Okay.
But I think the first time I played against Dallas, we were freshmen in high school. He went to some Christian. I don't know. It was down the street in Porter Ranch, and he did work. He did work when he played against us. But oh man, our coach loved him, and I think he just went after him. Next thing you know, guess who the starting shooting guard on our team? Dallas Rutherford.
Dallas Rutherford. Okay.
And then from there, honestly, from there it went up. We played pump run together. We do church leagues together. We went to Japan together. We grew up down the street from each other. We get rides to school together. It's like a normal high school relationship, but we was winning a whole lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So that bond almost formed immediately between y'all two.
Yeah. I mean, because
love that.
When you see a white dude that can hoop like that, you know what I mean? He got like a little flavor to him. He got a little swag to him.
He had a little swag.
Dallas loving this.
Bro,
talk about the haircuts. How good were my haircuts back in the day?
Yeah. Hey, no. He used to come fresh. I know it's definitely falling off at this point. But the swag was different. I mean, it was when you saw Dallas coming in, like you wasn't just worried about me or worried about my brother. Like Dallas was a problem. That was a problem.
So
he might still have a jumper. I don't know. I ain't seen him hoop in a minute. He probably still.
Jrue, I've been tagging you on Instagram for my church league highlights. You haven't been paying attention to those, I see.
I haven't, but I'm guessing the ratchet's still there.
He still got it.
It's
the defense falling off a little bit. Defense falling off a little bit.
You just got to make him angry.
He can sit down in the chair.
That's what you got to do.
And then you
Once he start caring, that's when he locks in.
Hey, so we went on I knew of Jrue, but we went on our church did a Japan missions trip where we got to. I never really met Jrue or talked to him, but
that might have been the first time.
Yeah, I think it was, and we ended up going to Japan, and we all roomed with each other. And another kid got put in our room. His name was Tarek, who I ended up being his best man at his wedding. Jrue knows him pretty well. Great guy, but We had a ball out there. But Jrue, I want to see if you remember this story because I think P will think it's petty. Do you remember in Japan? Because me and P like to compete. We're always on the duty, and I'm always trying to get a leg up. That's like, I want to win. Do you remember the 2-on-2 tournament that we had in Japan? And I was able to, so it was me and a girl, because it was like a girls boys trip. And then Jrue got paired with a girl, P, and then Justin got paired with a girl. And Targ wasn't going to win it from the jump.
Yeah, Targ had no chance. Yeah.
Do you remember what my strategy was, though? And you and Justin were like, bro, come on, really, bro? Do you remember this at all?
I don't.
It's you and a girl and me and a girl.
You probably like had the girl go up against us because you knew he wouldn't do anything.
P, every single time I said, look, he's not going to run you over. Just go set a screen on Jrue. Just go set the screen on Jrue. And trust me, I'll make the screen work. And so him and his brother were like, dude, are you serious? I'm like, hey, bro, you got to learn how to defend this. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be tough for you guys.
And, we 14 too, and it's a mission trip. Like, it's a Christian church trip. What it look like you running over some little girl.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, I don't like this story, Dallas. Should have kept that one to yourself.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, should have kept that to yourself.
Hey, man, winners do anything to win, bro.
That's facts. This poor girl probably sore as hell.
We wanted to take a brief break from the episode to let you know that Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 5 million members across the country, it is the most fun and exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players.
Jackie, every weekend, I can't wait for Sunday to sit on my sofa, pull out my Prize Picks apps, and put in some entries. And this week, I had to skip on Bijan last week because of the bye week, but he's back. He's got a great schedule to end the season. So anything with Bijan Robinson, I'm taking more.
Well, you know how I do, man, because my boys is back on the map again, even though we got a few wins. But I'm still CD Lambing. Always more, because my boy out there, he doing his thing. He taking his chances, even though, the quarterback out there doing what he do to get him to rock. But, hey, he's still doing what he got to do. So I'm always going to take my boy CD for more. And that's just what it is.
You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. So make sure you sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play just $5. You don't even have to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed.
Whether you think Nico Collins will continue to get more targets or Justin Herbert passing totals will be a little light this week, Prize Picks has you covered on every option.
So make sure you download the app today and use our promo code PODCASTP to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. So you can finish the football season by downloading the app today and using the code PODCASTP to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
I was going to ask something about Dallas, but I done heard enough about Dallas. He made me mad with this question he asked. I was going to ask Jrue how Dallas, how was it? Who was his game like when you played with him? You know what I'm saying? Like who did he remind you of? And keep it real.
And Jrue, just so you know, Clay did an okay job at this. And I haven't asked you for much in a while, so I just want you to know Clay did okay during this question. So I wanted to preface this question.
We don't want no disclaimers.
Let me describe Dallas' game. So he had a wetter. He can get his jump shot off on the best of them, 100%.
The best of them, Jackie.
I'm listening.
His handle, he had a nice handle. I wouldn't say it was like the best, but he had a handle to get to where he wanted to get to and finish below the rim. He would always try to finish above the rim, and that it wouldn't have, like, every now and again he'd get like a nice little bang out.
So Dallas would made it to the G League, if that.
You know what? I for sure say that. To the G League for sure? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And maybe if I worked hard, Jrue, who knows? Maybe if I wasn't an idiot, maybe I had a chance.
If Dallas cared a little more. I'd say like a poor man's. I was gonna give you white chocolate, but his handle is
maybe
crazy.
Like a poor man's Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah.
Dallas got handles like that.
You don't got a ratchet like that.
He don't.
Poor man's Peyton Pritchard.
Don't disrespect Pritch.
I don't know, Dallas. Now that I'm his teammate, oh my God. Nah, bro be mixing me, bro. I hate guarding people.
Yeah, he got an underrated handle.
Yeah, and he got videos of him like in high school doing handling drills in his garage, bro. It's crazy. But I'll give you like a poor man's picture.
Okay. Hey, I'll
that's
take
fair.
it.
I think that's fair, right?
As long as I'm in the same, that's good.
For sure.
I do want to move it along, Jrue, and bring up your time with Team USA and bringing home the gold this summer. I know those games watching was crazy. They were incredible to watch. When you look back at some of the months removed now, how would you describe that experience?
Bro, it was a hell of an experience. I think being able to play with the best players in the NBA and then to see the best players from other countries and see like how they really are. Because, you know, when you come to the league, like, and you see the players in this league from different countries, I want to say that they're a little tied down, but once they get back to their country and they used to playing with their teammates that they've been playing with since they was 12, and they get a chance to like just let go and let loose, the boys can play. The boys can play. But I think some of the games that I was in, actually seeing like being on the same side as LeBron and Steph, seeing like how Book and all these guys like get down, bro, it was insane. To be a part of that team was definitely like one of the highlights of my career.
And Jrue, talk a little bit about like your mindset when it comes to playing your role on that squad, because I know outside looking in, it may seem easy just to get all these super talented guys from the league and throw them out there, but there's a lot of egos. There's guys used to being the number one scorer, the two scorer. How did you balance that, and how did you approach that heading into the Olympics?
Yeah, I don't think guys know, or even just hoopers know. You know, like some of the best hoopers, they know they got the green light, and they always going to have the ball and do whatever they want to do with it. But when you're on a team with, again, LeBron, Steph, Joel, Devin Booker, AD, Bam, all these guys are number one guys on that team. Jayson, they all number one guys on that team. So I think having the mindset of like, all right, every person is a number one person on this team, and for us to win, like, I might not get any shots this game, or I might get 3 shots this game. You have to completely change your mentality, and it's tough because if you miss your first couple of shots, you really might not get the ball anymore, or because our team is so good, you might not play anymore. And you know, as a hooper, you always want to feel like you affect the game in some type of way. So for me, I always knew if my shot wasn't on, I can affect the game on the defensive end. I can get offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. I can make plays for other people. So I think maybe the easiest person to do that for was me, because I did that in Boston last year when we won, where I wasn't the number one guy or two guy. It just kind of like shots came when they would come. And from there, you just kind of try to find your spots. You try to lock into making your open shots and making right decisions. But I think for me, the transition was probably the smoothest.
Yeah, I know when you're in the NBA, it's a lot easier for the games to come to you because you know, all right, I'm going to probably play 35 plus minutes tonight, right? Whereas the Olympics, you know right away, like, all right, I got to make an imprint soon as I step into the game, soon as this ball get tipped up. It's a transition. It's a change that you got to make, right? Like, how was that, like, when you notice, like, all right, like, I have to dictate how I'm going to play and how this game is going to look for me the second this ball goes up?
For sure. It's definitely an adjustment, especially in terms of the game is shorter. You play 40 minutes instead of 48. Like I said earlier, you probably, like, we started off, we would play 5 minutes and then get subbed out. Like, what you going to do in 5 minutes, bro? At that point, you just get warmed up.
Right, exactly.
At that point,
that's my point. That's my point. Yeah. The NBA game, that 5 minutes, like in the NBA game, that's like, yo, all right, I'm ready. I'm easing into the game now. I know now it's time to go. You don't have that privilege in the Olympics.
No, and you also know that in a week you could possibly have 4 games. You possibly have 4 games in a week. So even if I don't catch rhythm this game, I'm gonna get it tomorrow because tomorrow's a back-to-back or the day after. I mean, we were waiting 4 or 5 days, sometimes a week in between games. So trying to catch rhythm and keep rhythm was a bit more difficult. But I think it's really just about the experiences that you've been through basketball where, I mean, I've been traded 4 times. I've had different roles in all the different places and just learning from those experiences. And honestly, seeing something that's bigger than myself, like being on the USA team wasn't about me. It was what was on my jersey. It is what's on the back of my jersey, like representing my family. But it's more so about representing my country and knowing that like we could do something special. So take the ego out of it. And again, at that point, whatever happens, happens. Go out there and play your game.
Well, Jrue, you played with one of the newest, youngest superstars, one of my favorites, Anthony Edwards. And I want to know, what was it like with Anthony Edwards being a teammate? Because I seen some funny tweets out there saying he looked like he was everybody's nephew that was just tagging along out there because he was happy as hell.
Yeah, that definitely was nephew. He might be the funniest person that I know. And I think it's genuine. Like, he really loves life, bro. Like, I think he said something. No, Tyrese might have said something on the podcast about shooting that thing from Yucatan.
Right. I remember that.
Bro, that's really a saying he be saying.
He where that's at? He said, I don't know.
Bro, oh my gosh. His little country self, like he really is hilarious, but he loved basketball. He was trying to get information on anybody. Like, maybe I should come off this way, like left, right when I shoot. How should my foot placement be? Like holding my follow through. When I get to my step back, how should I do it this way? Like, he really is a student of the game. And for somebody that young to be like that locked in, that was cool to see.
That's why I love Anthony Edwards, man.
Yeah, he is a character, man. It's just something about people from the South, man. They just amazing human beings, man. People from the South, just funny people.
Yeah. No, hilarious. And country, for sure. For sure. No,
you ever see the episode
with
Funny Marco when Funny Marco put the chicken in his jacket? He was like, what you, man, you gonna eat that? Like, what? Shout out to my boy, man.
So Jrue, you and Derek obviously were on the Olympic team, and I think collectively, hoop fans, we were a little bit confused by Jayson Tatum's limit to playing games and obviously Jaylen Brown not being part of that Olympic team. I know on one end, the experience was amazing. It was great for you getting to, represent and, play for the country. On the other end, it's 2 of your teammates that are kind of on the negative side of this experience. How was that balance for you in terms of like, yo, this is amazing, this is fun, I'm doing something big, but then, I still, feel for these 2 guys that, aren't getting the respect that you think and we all think that they deserve. How was that balance for you?
I think you just got to balance it, however it may be, because kind of like you said, like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity or experience where you get to be around some of the greatest athletes in the world. And then on the flip side, like just winning a championship with my boys, and then knowing like how good they are, and they are good enough to be on this team, and make an impact, or even on the team and not playing as much as you're used to, or like looking at time like that. It's definitely hard to see because you want the best for your man. Like, I want them to be able to play as many minutes and do all that and win all the accolades. But at the same time, I feel like they were as professional as could be. Like JT, the way he handled it like a professional. He never brought it in the locker room. He never brought it to us. Like, yeah, we talked about it and all that, but it was never like it was an issue. And then the same thing with D White and JB. Like, we all love each other, so it was never an issue amongst us. But I do know that there were some things put out there that was real controversial. So
yeah, Jrue. So like in real time, I understand he was being very professional about the lack of playing time, but just between your guys' discussion, like were guys on the team like confused by this, or was this something that was already discussed before it did get out? Like, what was the real time like What is going on here?
I don't know if it was discussed before, just because it wasn't, my business. But was it weird? Yeah, it's Jayson Tatum. What do you mean? He's
Right.
top five players in the league. Just won a championship. One of the best players in the playoffs and in the finals. So when it was happening, you feel for him because of everything that literally just happened 2 weeks ago. And again, you could see that he's upset. He want to play. He's a hooper. What hooper wouldn't be?
Right.
But again, that's just his professionalism. That's him being, all right, it's more than me and just what I want.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to be best for the team. I don't want to mess up any chemistry or anything like that. And honestly, bro, he was great. He was great. He didn't he wasn't pouting. I could tell you that. He would get in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he stopped working. He was the one seriously trying to be like, all right, well, I'm going to stay ready whenever my numbers go.
Mm-hmm. Shout out JT, man, because I did think he handled that amazingly. He handled it like a professional. You know what I mean? It wasn't nothing that came out of him, the bad bunch out of the bad grape out of the bunch. He really handled it with professionalism. So shout out JT.
For sure.
Jrue, so when this episode comes out, it'll be the day before another matchup against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And they've started out hot, but you guys gave them their first loss of the season.
Yeah, we got that.
I think I saw you guys had a 50-point quarter. It was something ridiculous. But when you look at this year's team, what do you feel is different compared to last year's team?
I think there's more confidence. I think there's more comfortability amongst our team. I think going through something like what we went through last year and winning, for one, kind of gets that monkey off your back in terms of winning a championship and kind of getting over that hump. But we also went through it to where, again, that was my first year. So learning my role, where I'm going to be, where I'm going to get shots, what the team needs me to do. I feel like everybody is kind of falling in place. And then you see people just progressing. The way that JB and JT have come out this season has been awesome. The way Peyton's playing, been killing to me right now, for sure discussion 6 man of the year. And I just feel like that comfortability and that chemistry is there. So it's been, and it's been fun, crowd's still there everywhere we go, bro. They chant Celtics chants. Literally, we were just in DC. It was a Celtics game. For some reason, every time we go to Denver, it's a Celtics game, bro. It's insane. So having that type of love from the fans, and then kind of how we ended it last year. This year has been smooth. There's bumps in the road through a season, but it's been pretty good so far.
What's up with your coach, Joe Mazzulla? Wild ass quotes. I got to ask you this, man.
There it is.
Is it really him? I want to know what's the wildest experience you witnessed that shows how locked in he is.
It's really him. The one about the fighting, bringing fighting back. He was dead for real.
Yeah.
And he fight. He do MMA or he does jiu-jitsu. So I think he always kind of down to throw hands with people.
Does he? I didn't know that.
I know that.
Now y'all know he not really playing, but he he's authentically himself, and he can be a bit dry at times or and sarcastic, but it comes from a genuine place, and I feel like that's what some people appreciate about him is that he's not trying to be nobody else but himself, literally nobody else but himself, and he don't try to do it for clickbait. He don't try to do it for popularity. He really just tries to do it because he's like that 24/7.
Has he ever did some shit? You ever seen it? Okay, he definitely got some. He did a roundhouse or some shit, flying Jet Li, Bruce Lee kick.
There's a clip of him in the facility with his jiu-jitsu master, whatever you call him, and he climb on top of him, get him in a chokehold, climb around him, get him in a chokehold. Yeah.
Producers, put that clip up.
He got an actual clip of him doing it, which is crazy. Like you just walk into the practice facility in the weight room, and he in there just like,
Yeah.
oh, get him in.
Ah.
Get him again.
You
I'm
don't
like,
never see him do no
He got some
weird.
MMA shit.
You'll never see
Nah,
him
for
do
real.
no
He was
weird
walking
ass
behind-
stretches that.
weird stretches? No. Nah, he'll
I'm
walk.
saying he do
Weird
taekwondo and shit. You know, they can flex their body. They flexible.
Nah, he'll walk behind you and then just put you in the chokehold. Yeah, like do random stuff.
Yeah, he dangerous.
Drew,
Yeah, he
what
dangerous.
about your hands, Drew?
1,000%.
I've seen you post little, boxing stuff. P thinks he's like Muhammad Ali himself, imaginary boxing people. But I've seen a little interest coming over via the Instagram. Maybe we could get a matchup going. Maybe when you're done.
It depends on how he played me this year, but he been doing me right. If he start messing with my minutes, we might have to throw hands.
There we go. Love it.
I'm actually with the throwing hands again. Like if people want to bring back like throwing hands or pushing or doing all that, bro. I mean, because growing up when we watched it, we was like, oh, like you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna be fighting, but I might instigate somebody else to.
Yeah, right. So 50 mil cash money. You get let's say 7 months to train. Jake Paul calls you out. You taking the fight?
50 mil?
He said 50 mil.
Might have to take that dive, huh?
I might have to.
Minutes. What?
That really make you think about. Yeah, that really put things in perspective.
What round I gotta go down in?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, make it look realistic.
Right.
You hit me with a right, then an uppercut. Oh, I got you. Oh.
Nah, look, that last little fight, I don't know nothing about nothing, but I can do that.
Right.
We could pump it up a little bit. You see, I'll take you through my whole training camp and all that, and then once we get out there, Netflix will start messing up, so you can't really see a lot of the fight. Right. And then, I mean, I'll swing one time, and then he just hit me. Cool, 50 M's.
Cool, over 50 M's.
Yeah.
Walk up out of there smiling. Why you just lost?
Out of there. Yeah, out of there.
Now, I got to come to you with this question because you obviously know this guy. Y'all go back long time. I want to ask favorite memory at Campbell Hall together. It could be on the court. It could be off the court. Favorite memory of your time at Campbell Hall?
Well, I thought about this, and I don't think just everything. It was fun. Some of the stories are not appropriate.
Thank you. That's what I was waiting for. Because there's at least
for multiple
three of them
reasons.
off the top of my head.
I've grown up a little bit, Drew, over the years, so you don't nothing to worry about there.
I enjoyed them.
I know, but
I was there to experience all of them, so I enjoyed them. But there's at least 3 stories off the top of my head. I'm like, we can't tell. Nobody can know.
I'd say just first of all, and Drew, I mean this sincerely. Everyone always gives me, flack because, dude, the other day, Drew, they're like, who would be a good quarterback in the NFL? And I'm like, dude, Jrue would be. He could throw with both hands. And everyone's like, like they don't know. But, Jrue, not only just Jrue, but
I played quarterback my freshman year.
And he was nice,
Dal
bro.
says you was throwing left hand and right hand touchdowns.
Trying to tell you.
He was nice, bro.
That's different.
But Jrue and Drew's family, I know people joke around how much I support Jrue, but I have the utmost respect for all of the Holiday's family. And I always tell people, Jrue, that I've always looked up to you and Justin just with how you guys have, 2 different stories, but you guys have always been humble. You've always been kind. You've also been strong in your faith. That's important to me. And just watching you guys kind of grow up into the NBA, I'm proud of you, man. And I will always pick you over Luka. I'll pick you over pretty much anybody, but wanted to say that for sure, just on behalf of me and my family and to your whole family. But when I think of like a good story, P, you might like this one. And Jrue, you let me know if you remember this. The best part about us at Campbell Hall was we got to play in big games. We were like a college team in high school. So we had the jumpsuits. I mean, dude, we were swagged out. Adidas. Yeah, nice. We'd go up to the Pump's house. We'd get any type of shell toe we wanted. Jrue had some connections. I'm like, dude, I need this shoe. But there was one big game that we had in Minnesota, and we were practicing in LA. And I think it's the first time Jrue actually got upset with me. I've never seen Jrue like mad at me. and the coach decided to put all the starters on one team except me. And Jrue's over here going to the NBA, and he's got Keegan Hornbuckle, I think Austin, Deuce, and like some other person. And I'm over here with, shout out Max Rose, which not the most athletically gifted, still a good friend of mine. Well, he actually was athletically gifted, but it was just so lopsided. And I'm like, dude, what are we doing? And he's like, we're going to play for 60 sprints a day before we go. And I'm playing on national television. I'm telling Jrue, you're already committed to UCLA. Give me the ball. And Drew's like, bet, I'm going to give you the rock. And so anyways, we get smacked and I'm barely playing. I'm whining P. I'm hot. And coach is like, all right, get ready to do the 60. So he said, go do the 60. Man, I am walking. I'm not going to run none of this because I want my legs fresh for a national televised game. So he goes, all right, how about this? We do one more double or nothing. And if you win, then you don't have to do the sprints, Dallas. So I'm like, he got me upset. So I'm like, all right. So somehow, I don't know how, we ended up beating the starters. And the coach at the time, that's a whole nother story. But
whole nother story.
the coach, I win, I'm happy. I'm like, yeah, I'm not running. I got out of that. He goes, you're still running double. And the whole team had to do it with me. And so Drew's trying to get me wild up to actually run the sprints, P. And I'm like, man, I ain't doing it, bro. Like I'm walking. Like it's the most pathetic, bad attitude. That was 100% me. We drive home. Drew's trying to prep talk me. I'm like, dude, you're going to the NBA. I'm not going. If anyone needs to be playing, who does this practice need to be difficult for? Me or you? Why me? But anyways, that's just one good story. Anyways, we ended up winning in Minnesota. I scored the first 15 points of the game, and that's
okay.
Throw that in.
So there's a happy ending to it.
Happy ending. Do you remember that, Jrue?
I actually do remember that. That was crazy. But
he kicked me out the
like
practice.
Stuff like that,
I was like, perfect.
Stuff like that, though. No, for sure. Dallas, like, if Dallas had his mindset on something, he won't go. Like, not to do it, he won't go do it. Yeah. It didn't matter what you said or who was talking to him. It didn't matter. And I remember, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, man, Dallas could really go. If he really wanted to, like, he can really go to schools that he wanted to go to. But a lot of the times, I just feel like, bro, Dallas was just kind of hard-headed. And he wanted things the way he wanted it. And I remember that game, Minnesota. Oh, and there's a couple of stories in Minnesota that we can't talk about either.
San Luis Obispo, I don't know.
Bruh, what? Oh, my.
Hey, P, I was wild, bro.
No,
hey,
I was back when you had hair.
I was, hey, boy,
like
what?
The first day when I met you.
You couldn't tell him that, my boy.
Wow.
He had everything on lock. You couldn't tell him that.
Dallas was something else. That's all I can say. He was something else with that hair.
Okay.
Had the parts, little slick back. He was wearing do-rags.
Drew was one of the first people to put a do-rag on my head, I think.
He wasn't wearing no
I learned like how to tie a do-rag technically from Drew.
Dallas had the
I had waves, bro.
Please,
I noticed the difference every time I wore it. Like, something about that.
You got to do an episode one time with a wave cap on, Dallas, please.
It makes no sense now, but when I had hair, I think you could make the argument.
All right, I want to continue on. After high school, UCLA was the next stop. And was that always clear cut who you were going to? I know you it kind of seemed a favorite, you being a Adidas guy playing on a pump and run circuit, or Adidas circuit playing for pump and run.
Yeah.
UCLA was obviously Adidas at the time. Was that always the clear cut favorite? And how did you being the most highly recruited player coming out of high school, what was that recruitment like for you as the number one prospect coming out of high school?
Coming out of high school, it was, I don't know. I don't do well with like praise and all that. Like, it makes me real uncomfortable. So I really tried to keep it as low profile as I could, where like you had guys like Dallas or people telling me like I could come out of high school and go to the league, and like, nah, like, there's no way. Like, the people that just got, like, I think, maybe our junior year or senior year, like Dwight Howard just got drafted. Like, bro, there's no way. You know what I'm saying? But I think for me, it wasn't clear cut. I really wanted to go to Carolina. Like UNC was my school. MJ went there. They had the baby blue jerseys. You know, I thought that looked good on dark skin. So, you know, I thought it was really going to pop on your boy.
Yeah.
But I ended up going on a recruiting visit there, and it was just too far from home, bro. And it was cold. And I was like, nah, this ain't for me. And my brother went to University of Washington, which I thought about going there, and they had a squad. And it was kind of like me and my brother had been doing everything together since I was born. And I kind of decided to like separate that and go to UCLA. But UCLA wasn't
it wasn't the original. Okay.
Nah. Dallas, did we go on a recruiting visit together?
We did one at Arizona, and then I did one to Washington with your brother before I went to Washington State. But I think we only did Arizona.
Yeah.
So UNC was the number one option until
Bro,
going on that recruiting trip.
On my recruiting trip, they were honoring like the 82 and 75 championship team. That was like Kendrick Perkins, it was James Worthy, it was Michael Jordan. This was I think the first time I was meeting Michael Jordan. He ended up walking into the office as I'm with Coach, walking into the office, and I'm like, "Yo, what's up?" Like, my name is Jrue Holiday. He was like, I know who you are. And that, to me, like that, I think that's the only time I've been like starstruck. Like MJ knew who I was. Yeah. I'm like, oh, MJ knew who I was. Oh yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But I ended up not going, bro. It was too far. It didn't seem like it was the right fit for me, but it all ended up working out. They ended up winning that year, by the way. They ended up winning
that year. That next year.
No, that same that next year. Yeah.
MJ couldn't seal the deal. That's crazy.
Look, it was.
I'm signing.
It was definitely tough. It was definitely tough, and that was the hardest conversation that I had with Coach, like telling him that I wasn't going there. But, bro, it's just something about being home. I mean, you played at home.
I feel it 100%. I mean, I only went to Fresno, but for me, there was no way I could be that far from my parents, from my family. Like I couldn't even think about entertaining somewhere. Like when I started playing with y'all, that was the first time I ever left California. You know what I mean? So like put that in perspective to now live somewhere. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm cool. So I 100% get that.
Yeah. So that's what it was like for me.
Even though you didn't want to go to UCLA, Jrue, and that was your choice, but I want to talk about a fellow Bruin who was a great player in the NBA now, Mr. Russell Westbrook. I want to know, have you guys have any early runs in before you two got to the NBA?
The first time I played against Russ was my senior year when I was going up there hooping, and I think Russ was a freshman. Russ was like, he wasn't as athletic as he is now, but he was still good though. But I wouldn't say he was as athletic as he is now, or even like in his prime. Like I want to say like the next year, that's when Russ dunked on dude against Cal. Caleb was throwing that thing to him, and he was, you know what I'm saying? Like, but my senior year, I was like, not sure I see it. just to be like, I didn't know, but yeah, big bro, he showed out. Now he's a Hall of Famer. Easy.
Right. Just how crazy how it goes, man.
Yeah, but yeah, I never played against Russ in high school. We played in Dallas. We played against everybody. We played against everybody. Westchester, Taft. We played against DeMar. We played against everybody. But we never played against Russ.
Russ still had that energy. Same Russ.
Same Russ, bro. Same Russ. He ain't never changed that. Same.
Yeah.
Jrue, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think a lot of people know this, but Russ wasn't like he was good in high school, but wasn't he like a walk-on at you? He was like bottom of the barrel his freshman year. But something had happened. Maybe he didn't have a scholarship. Then he got a scholarship. Russell Westbrook didn't have a high school career like yours per se, or just automatic going to whatever school I want to go to. Russ really, I don't think people realize like Russ wasn't Russ. Russ worked his way up there and blossomed into one of the best to ever play. I think that gets overlooked, especially now. But just in general, I think people forget that Russ wasn't Russ back in the day.
No, he can't. Mm-hmm. Nah, like he like started from the bottom, and I feel like Russ is a Hall of Famer now because he still got that same energy. He still got that same type of work ethic where, like, this matters. You know what I mean? Like, from where I came from to where I am now, this really mattered to me. Like, I really do this. So, but you're right though. Russ wasn't highly recruited. I think I heard that story as well, where like he didn't necessarily have a scholarship to UCLA, but something happened where they ended up having one, and next thing you know, man, my man's leading the league in triple doubles ever. I mean, he's Brody. He's Brody now. So yeah, it's crazy to see, like, bro, sometimes how your story, like how it starts off, how it's going to end is going to be completely different.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Football season is here. Basketball season is here. And there's no better place to catch all the action while eating good than at Buffalo Wild Wings. B-Dubs has wall-to-wall TV, so you don't miss any of the regular season highlights. And most importantly, they have an offer that's tough to pass up.
That's right, guys. At Buffalo Wild Wings, you can get 2 entrees, 2 sides, and 2 fountain drinks for only $19.99.
Which means for your entree, you can pick between 10 boneless wings and 6 traditional wings, or between an all-American cheeseburger and a classic chicken sandwich, or 3 head breaded chicken tenders, or the choice is yours, y'all. Hey, fellas, what y'all choosing?
You know what? That chicken sandwich I had last week was good. I'm going to go back and get the chicken sandwich again.
I see you. I see what you down.
Last week, Jackie, as soon as we were done filming, I went and ordered from Buffalo Wild Wings. I got the honey barbecue wings, and I got some Parmesan garlic wings. And for a side, I got to go with the basic fries. I'm a fry guy, so went with the fries, and they were good.
Fry guy. Okay, I'm going to throw the tots in with mine. I'm going to throw the tots in with mine.
Okay. I see how y'all do it.
Napoleon tots.
A little breakfast vibe, but I like it. Okay, Jackie, but what about you? What are you going to order?
Oh, man, you know I got to keep it real. I love chicken, so I got the chicken sandwich, and I got to keep it ghetto. Got to get the fries to dip it in that ranch. Quit playing with me.
Go ahead and check it out for yourself. Grab a friend or date and head to Buffalo Wild Wings to get 2 entrees, 2 sides, and 2 drinks for only $19.99. And watch all the games this season while you do it. Hey, y'all, we back with our sponsors, MetaQuest. I know a lot of y'all going to be spending time with friends and family soon. And if you want to be the most poppin' and popular over Christmas break, you know, because everybody going to be getting presents and gifts. This the best gift to get right here. Go ahead and bring this along, the MetaQuest mixed reality headset.
So a few weeks ago, P gave us a sneak peek at Metro Awakening VR. It's a new first-person shooter set in the Moscow subway in the aftermath of a nuclear Armageddon. The game officially dropped earlier this month, so P is going to give us another look at his skills. That was wild, wasn't it?
It was wild. Hey, I felt like Liam Neeson.
I felt like
Liam Neeson.
That's how you going?
I was Robert McCall, let me tell you.
Okay.
He done did his homework today. I love it.
Come on.
But P, isn't it crazy how like real it looks?
Yeah, no, it is. It is crazy. It is crazy. I mean, like I said, you actually feel like you in like some deep SHIT, you know? It feels like you really are going to war and you in combat. And so, like I say, I'm Robert McCall. I got my survival tactics up. Let's just say that.
What's your favorite gun?
The little Yistel.
The little
I like
Yistel.
to use a Yistel.
The little Yistel.
The little Yistel.
Okay,
the little
Yistel.
pow,
I'll let
pow. You know,
I'll let you get the
because
little
I'm
Yistel.
agile. You know, I'm agile. I'm
Okay.
you know, my movement. I got to, you know. So I need that Yistel. I need that Yistel on me.
I got you.
If y'all want to have fun like we having fun, head to meta.com/quest to check out Metro Awakening and see everything else that's possible on MetaQuest. 2009, 17th pick, you get drafted to the Philadelphia 76ers. You immediately join a team with Iguodala, Lou Will, and older AI. And I think CP credited how good you are defensively by having to guard these guys in practice. Where did that defensive mindset? I know you were a great defender back in high school and at UCLA. I seen it with my own two eyes, but did that help with understanding the NBA, how to play defense against elite talent at the NBA level, guarding those guys in practice?
100%. And I don't think
because
people
those are
really
like the craftiest guys.
For sure. Lou will all the time. And people ask me, like, I learned a lot from Lou because Lou knew how to score from all three levels. I don't think he really showed his athleticism, like what he really had. Like, bro, Lou would dunk on you if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
But he was this crafty scorer that could, score on anyone from anywhere. So guarding him in practice, and Lou, he just always talking trash, bro. Like, and that would that'd get me so tight because at first I'm not even really playing, and then he cooking me too. So I honestly just felt like I had to find a way. And then I had Andre behind me talking trash because if anybody know Dre, he one of the most sarcastic people that I've ever known. Matter of fact, I hated him my rookie year. He was just an asshole, bro. I'm like, oh my gosh, if you don't back off. But it ended up being a great relationship, and I learned a lot from him. But another one is one of my coaches, Aaron McKee, who used to play for the Sixers. Yeah, dog.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely did a good job of keeping my mind right in terms of keeping the game simple, trying to watch film with him to be able to read players and the tendencies, trying to learn as quickly as I can to read players and what they like to do on the court. And then going up against guys like Lou Will and Andre, where like Andre, they was on the low calling him AI at that point. Like he was him.
Yeah.
One of the best in-game dunkers that I've ever seen. Going up against guys like that, honestly, bro, it just made me fearless going against everybody else because I seen it every day in practice. And this is back when we actually practiced, bro.
Right. Exactly. So you like that's what people don't understand. Back in those days, like you gonna get tested and put through the wire. You know what I mean? Like you gonna learn how to guard. You don't know how to do nothing. You gonna learn. Like coaches practice those days. You gonna learn how to play some defense.
And you had no choice.
And I'm gonna see you every day.
Every day. You had no choice but to. And if you didn't, you weren't gonna play.
Do you think we can get will the league get back to that? I know we're so far gone with rest and recovery and do you think we'll ever get back to those days? Or is the NBA just so well conditioned of just resting, load management? Like what you think about that?
I think that's gone, my boy.
You think it's done?
Yeah, I think that's how it is. I know. I think it was gone when, and this is no disrespect to anybody. I think it was gone when they started giving the keys to some of the younger guys too early. I think that a lot of the times, like coming in, I had to earn the right to be on the court. I had to earn the right to be on the court with guys like Lou Will and AI. There's a lot of things that I seriously had to like put in my time and pay my dues, where there are generational talents now and you kind of have to take your chances on young guys coming in. But I think sometimes younger guys now don't have to pay their dues the way they used to.
Jrue, I want to dive in a little bit more on your approach defensively, because again, even in high school, you were gifted on that defensive side of the ball. Was that something that your dad stressed the importance of? Because you see kids today, man, and this is no disrespect to guys like dribble too much. I've always said someone needs to come out and make like a defense too much. And it probably wouldn't get as much views, but you're just a prime example of how important that other side of the ball is. You've single-handedly, in those NBA finals, man, deflections, steals, causing stuff. I mean, you were just a nuisance defensively. But I want to know, like, how did you learn how to play defense? And if you had a 16-year-old kid, a 15-year-old kid, what would Jrue Holiday teach them about the defensive side of the ball that could get them to your level of defense?
I think a lot of it was from Sean. That's my dad, from Big Sean. He harped a lot on playing defense. Just because basketball is it is two-sided. It's a full game. Having a great offensive game and defensive game will make you the best player you can. And especially Dallas knowing, we used to battle in practice. If it was me, Dallas, my brother Justin, if it was Rob Ford, if it was literally, if it was Deuce or Keegan, literally anybody, we were going at it all the time. Matter of fact, Dallas, if we bring up some of them old papers, like we used to smack teams. We pressed them full court the whole game. I mean, I think we beat a team 110 to 12.
We were locked.
Something
we
crazy.
knew defensive principles, help side, stay in front. We had it down. It was bad.
Talk to him. Nah, we would roast people and like, and you would take their heart and you would see their heart being taken, and it was like a good feeling. As bad as that sounds,
yeah, bro.
Y'all bullies,
it was like
man.
100%. Oh, and we were talking that shit too. 100%. But it was like that was some of the funnest times of my life. Like Dallas throwing lives up to me, and then I throw it back to him, and he trying to, you know what I'm saying? This is off of like a steal. We pressed the whole game. The whole game. Stuff like that used to, this is going to sound crazy as hell, used to turn me on, boy. I used to love that. But I feel like that type of joy that you get from playing defense, people don't really get. And I don't know if it's because they don't see the value in it. Like there's more players that want to be better, like the best offensive players, and trying to be the best defensive player they can be. You can get paid playing defense.
Mm-hmm.
Which one you like more, Jrue?
Always offense. I'm still a bucket. Okay. Yeah, I'm still a bucket. But I think the combination of like trying to take somebody's heart on the defensive end and offensive end is something that only a few have. And because it's hard. To be able to do that for 82 plus games a year, like P, like going through a season hurts, bro. And then to be able to have the pressure of, all right, well, like for you the man on the team. So you got to guard the best player, and then you got to go against the best defender every time down the court. Like you know how difficult that is.
It's difficult. It's taxing. It takes a lot out of you.
And every game, there's not one game that you get to have off. I think that people don't see the value in that. Where I feel like I do. I feel like there's times where I know I'm not going to have a good offensive night. And sometimes I won't have a good defensive night. But I can tell you, like, I will make a difference on both ends of the floor. If it's not scoring, if it's playmaking. But defensively, I know you're not going to have the easy night tonight. And that was one thing I always took pride in. I think kids today, and again, this is no offense to the greats, but you have somebody like PG, and I seen they put the little Smooth Criminal music on your clips when you know what I mean?
Don't get him started. Please don't get him started.
Bag and all that.
Yeah, don't get him started, Drew.
I'm sorry. My bad. I thought it was smooth, but you know.
No, it is, but let's calm it down.
But stuff like that, like, is more appealing to these kids, where you can really make a living. You can go to college. You can go to the league or overseas. You can make a career out of being a great defensive player. But I'm not sure how you clip that. I'm not sure how you show that doing defensive slides or playing somebody one-on-one is fun for kids to do in their off time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just not glorified enough. You know what I mean? It's not glorified enough. Not only being like seeing the offensive part, but just seeing the effort of guarding as well. Like, you don't like. I tell people this, I don't know who like you looked up to, but what inspired me was watching Kobe. Like, I would watch Kobe and be like, damn, obviously I know Kobe is Kobe on offense, but like he would take the matchups on a nightly basis of trying to guard the best player on the other end. And for me, that was like, dog, that's dope. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to do. I want to try to dominate on offense and go and dominate on defense. I don't care who is out there or who I'm playing against. I want him. And that's kind of like, and then I would watch, John Salmons was one of my favorites. Josh Howard was one of my favorites. Like, these were dudes, not as big names as Kobe, but they played both ends and they took, pride in playing both ends. Like, who was Kobe that person for you that kind of, as you watched, or was there somebody else that you watched that kind of played both ends?
Kobe was always one of them. Obviously wasn't old enough to like watch Michael like that, but always heard of Mike, him being like defensive player of the year and like scoring title in the same year and winning the championship.
And winning the chip.
Yeah, Kobe was a big one. It's funny you talk about John Simons because I ended up being his teammate, and I told him once like how much I used to watch him play defense. But Derek Fisher was one of them. Derek Fisher was one of them. Before I went to UCLA, I might have been like 14 or 15, and they got the runs up at UCLA, and that was the first time I went up against Derek Fisher, and that was the first time I knew I wasn't ready for the NBA.
Yeah, straps.
What? Couldn't go nowhere. Seatbelt.
Yeah, and he's strong
go
too.
Nowhere. What? And I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this. But that was like one of the first moments I was like, man, like he not taking it easy on a little 15-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a Laker legend. So he was one of the ones I'm like, oh, by the way, he one of the biggest shot makers, most reliable people that you'll ever be on the court with. So it's not just defense. He also doing it on offensive end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Drew, do I look nosy to you?
A little bit.
Did you right on point there? Did you right on point? That's a good answer because last season we had Lou Williams stop by on Podcast P and he talked about how y'all 212 Sixer team. He mentioned this is what he said. He mentioned that Doug Collins was the reason behind the team's misfortune. Now I need to know, is that true? And how challenging of an environment was it over there when you was there?
It was a little toxic over there, huh?
Let's hear it.
If you know Lou Will, he ain't never lied to you.
No cap in Lou Will rap
At all.
He'll tell you that. No cap in my rap.
It was definitely
It
was definitely one of the like a challenging time. I mean, I guess you go through challenging times in each part, like certain parts of your career or whatever. But man, that was a lot, especially for like a 19, 20, 21-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There was a lot of emotions. There's a lot of stories. There's a lot of things where it was, matter of fact, on the low, I kind of praised Doug Collins. That's why we were so good, because we wanted to prove him wrong. We played so well together because we like was going against him. Like, I don't know how you motivate people. I don't know how you motivate people as a coach by doing that, but
right.
Apparently he motivated us. There definitely were quite a few times there where it was like, all right, bro, you got to chill.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's getting out of control.
Obviously, you went on and played for different teams, different coaches. Hindsight, when you look back at that, do you equate that to like, oh, that was just old school coaching or old school philosophies, or he just was it was just some bullshit?
Keep it real.
You know what? I'm not gonna say it was old school coaching. I think Doe was a competitor, and I think that at that time too, him being MJ's coach and him like having kind of the accolade or whatever that he had at coaching and being a player, because he used to talk about that all the time. And I mean, he got the Olympic rings tattooed on him. He used to tell us all the time, you know who I coached? I coached MJ. I coached Pippen. There was one time, I think maybe it was after the Bucks. I think we played Brandon Jennings in Milwaukee. Maybe my second or third year, and we got smacked. And he ended up sliding me this number, and he like, yeah, call this number. He waiting for you, or you waiting to hear from you. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I think it was Scottie Pippen, and I'm like, hello. He like, yeah. I'm like, bro, Doug told me to call you. He like, man, he always doing this.
Doug told me to call you.
Like, what am I supposed to say? He didn't know that I was calling him. I didn't know who I was calling. But like stuff like that to kind of show, like, you know what I mean? Like, I coach this person, or I'm this guy.
Yeah, it's a little power flex.
There was a lot of that, but then it was also like, all right, you had some real dudes on this team. Like, you just not gonna be like walking over people and thinking it's gonna be smooth. I've had meetings with me and Evan and Doug, and he ended up crying. And then there was one time in Chicago, I think we lost to D Rose and then by like damn near 40, 45 points.
Damn.
He get on the bus, he talking to his son. I can't believe they would do this to me. They knew I coached here. They knew this and that. And we was like, we the ones who got smacked. You just thought that we would. You just thought we want to get blown out. No, but there was definitely a lot of challenges. Throughout those years, but man, that was like the first time. Nah, I guess it wasn't the first time I was close to my teammates, but like in the league, because I was so much younger, like we got so much closer because of what we had to. Like we bonded over that. I don't know if you call it a trauma bond, but we bonded over that for real. And like they my brothers for life now.
Let's fast forward to your Pelican days. And obviously, you know, you played on some super talented teams. But when you look at that Pelicans team, playing with AD, playing with Boog, DeMarcus Cousins, when you look back at that, how special of a nucleus could that team could have been? When you look at it was a cheat code because there was nobody at that time that could match up with AD.
Nobody.
And then there sure as hell wasn't nobody that could match up with Boog. Now you thrown in that mix. It was talk to us about that.
Oh my gosh. If we could have kept that team together, there's a lot of times where like I'm like, man, if we'd have kept our Philly team together, we'd have been really good. If we would have kept that team together, oh my gosh, bro, nobody could see Bud. Nobody could see him. He was like 0.5.
Yeah,
and we still had Rondo. There was me. There was Etwan Moore. There was we still had Nico. Bro, we had 3-point shooting. We had inside presence. What you gonna do? You come down the court as a 5-man and you see DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis coming at you.
Nothing.
What do you plan on?
You couldn't do nothing.
How do you plan for that?
Yeah,
bro, that was some of like the easiest basketball because Boog for real is a point guard, and he's just a 7-foot point guard. And when he gets upset, bro, he can like for real take over a game. And then we see how AD do. Yeah, and we see how AD play. AD just be AD. But that was like, if we would have kept that team together, bro. And then Rondo was the coach. He telling us what to do. He telling us, like, I mean, he doing this. Bro, that was some of the most amazing like stuff I had seen out of a team being able to like Rondo like really being coached, DeMarcus just coming off a trade like pissed off, hot, and then us going and. Man, if he didn't get hurt, I really think we could have done something. So
yeah, that group was special, man. When you do, because you might start like you might play a certain lineup 78 games out of the year. Them other 4 against y'all, because I was out west at that time. Them other 4 games, like all right, how we matching up with these two? Like we got to get some size in this lineup. So it's a whole different. It was a whole different lineup when we played against y'all.
Don't matter.
And it didn't matter. Right. It didn't matter because you can't match up with these two.
Bigs were too slow, or our bigs were just like DeMarcus just too strong if he wanted to.
Too strong, too skilled.
Yeah, and just never touch the post unless he was tired of shooting threes. And then we'll just go into the post.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
You mentioned Rondo, and you know, he's as his career has gone on, he's known as one of the most brilliant minds in basketball. And you just mentioned he was the coach. I want to know, how does that work? You know what I mean? If Rondo's the coach, and I know Rondo's had some interesting narratives surrounding him on, you know, the coach and being the coach on the floor, literally. But how does that work? And is there any particular story that you could share that really highlights Rondo's basketball mind?
I think that coaches have egos as well. And sometimes when you have a player who is just as smart or smarter than the coach or has a different philosophy toward the game than you, that creates conflict. And I think sometimes that's what happened, where they'd be like, all right, you're the point guard, but you're still the point guard. I'm the coach. So at the end of the day, I have the last say. But Rondo is similar to Dallas and was like, no, you don't. You don't have the last say. I have the last say. I think that's where a lot of conflict and pushback came between Rondo and why that narrative came out. But Rondo, we also had Alvin Gentry as a coach. And if you know Gent, he's like one of the most chilled, laid back coaches that you could have. So he liked that Rondo was taking initiative. He liked that Rondo would write up plays. like at the end of games or whatever, take the board right of like a last second shot, or ATOs taking the board. But I remember there was one time, like, we were going through it because in the beginning we had a lot of characters. We had Rondo, who would square up with anybody. We had Bug, who would square up. I think we ended up having Nico, who just got slapped in the face by Bobby in Chicago. So like we had like all these people that like all these egos. Well, there ended up being a time where Rondo just called like everybody into practice and no coaches could come. And we ran through practice without coaches. Rondo ran the whole practice.
He ran the practice.
Put in plays as he's playing. Put in plays, bro. Did everything, and I'm like, I've never seen this before. No coaches out there. They looking through the windows, like through the coaches' offices, looking at us like. And Rondo's running practice.
Yeah,
like, bro.
Doe was
such
special.
a great. Bro, what? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
His basketball IQ. If he ever becomes a coach, bro, I'd love to see it.
Yeah. I think he's geared for it. Like, even because we had him in LA when I was there. And bro, during the playoffs, like, he was gathering all of us up to watch film. Like, and he's breaking film down with us. Like, his mind is just different.
He do it on the plane?
No, we did it. So we did it twice. We did it once on the road. I think I want to say we were in Dallas. We did one in the Dallas. And then once we did it at my crib here in LA, got everybody together and we just kind of watched film and he was just breaking shit down. But just his mind, bro, is crazy. Like, obviously we all see the game differently. I see the game and I feel like I have a pretty good IQ for the game. Like, I can see what's coming, and he see 2, 3, like what this person might do, like what they're 100%. Thinking about doing. Like, that's 100%. Where his mind takes it. Like, so he's that shit is impressive. It's impressive.
He's definitely.
He's like, hey, P. hey, P.
Bro, he definitely got a different mentality in terms of that. Bro, he had us on the plane at least 3 times. The whole team, they booing.
Yeah.
They booing.
Yeah.
They are booing, and we're watching film as a team.
What do you mean? On the plane?
On the plane. He booing. He playing Boo Ray.
Oh, Boo Ray and okay. And watching film.
And watching film.
He's like booing.
Look.
I'm confused. I was like, what?
Nah, Boo Ray. Okay.
Yeah. I've played Boo Ray a few times, and that's a little bit too steep for my blood. So I don't partake in those activities. But I know you got to lock into that. You got to lock into that.
Exactly.
And this man is watching film, almost every plane ride, watching film, playing Blu-ray.
Yeah.
What's the most you've seen lost on Blu-ray, Drew? We talked about this last episode. What's the worst L you've seen?
I've seen. Maybe this one.
It's crazy that we're on this subject though, because Rondo is a part of some of the biggest Blu-ray games I've seen.
Is he?
Yes. Rondo was a part of some
probably
crazy
good at
Blu-ray games.
I've heard some stories from some teammates how much they got for.
What are we talking? 150? What are we talking?
Yeah, I would say like 100. I think the number is like 136. One flight.
That's tough.
Yeah, I'm cool.
I can't. I'm cool on that too. I quit. I played one game this year, and it didn't go my way. And I'm like, you know what? Y'all got it. Y'all got it. It ain't working.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I played last year. So I used to play, and I played last year one time. And I'm not gonna lie, I came up and then I just dipped. I'm like, nah, I can't play no more. I know that's not allowed. I know I shouldn't do that, but it ended up happening. So
yeah.
So Jrue, you play with a lot of young superstars, man, and you witnessed one big time dude that I like that's in the league, and his name is Zion Williamson. You was there for his NBA debut, and you described his debut as pretty elite. That's what you said. I want to ask you this. When you see how things have unfolded for Zion in recent years, what advice have you or would you give him?
Yeah, I don't know if I can say that on here.
Our podcast, you can do it. You can say anything you want on our podcast. This is what it's for. We need we need everything.
I I think Zion is one of the most talented or most gifted players that I've ever seen. Athletic ability, how he can like get to the rim, get by people. And I feel like sometimes it's about fit. And maybe, I don't know if they have to adjust the fit to him down there, if he need to maybe slide out and like have a different fit with somebody else. But I feel like he needs a change in some kind of way because he is promising, bro. Like, at least when I had him as a rookie, it was amazing. Just what he was capable of. And you see him, like, they talk about the weight gain and doing all that, but I've seen him at 280, 290, still like above the rim like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like crazy type stuff. So I think that he is definitely a talented player, and I think just something needs to be shaken up down there because he's way too good to be. I mean, going to the play-ins every year and then not making it at the play-ins. You know what I'm saying?
If you was his coach, what would you have him do? I want to know. Yeah. Put you on the spot. If you was his coach, what would you have him do?
Well, for him, I'd have him play a little bit more defense.
Okay.
There we go.
And I think a way to fact, 100%. And that's not a knock on him. I think that makes him the talent that he is. That would elevate his game. Offensively, bro, I think he got it. I think he does what he's supposed to do. I think he makes for other people. I think he gets to the rim. He gets to the free throw line. But I think for me, if he challenged himself defensively and his teammates saw that, I feel like they would follow. Usually when your best player is doing that, bro, because I seen JT and JB doing it. I seen how much they wanted. I seen how much they wanted to win. I feel like if Zion like added that part to his game, bro, I do think that that's just something that I would challenge him to every single day.
So Jrue, man, I gotta ask you, man, how crazy is it playing with Giannis, man? I need a basketball story. I need the headbutt stories, etc. Give it all to me, man, because I done heard it all.
The headbutts.
That's crazy. I think that's just because he's African, or you know what I mean? He's European, so he grew up playing soccer a little bit and all that. So yeah, he get into all that. But Giannis, bro, I mean, P, he's a tough motherfucker. He'll run straight.
Tough.
He'll run straight through. You know, he'll do the Space Jam joint. What he does in the paint, I feel like is unmatched. He does it with force, and every single game, it's like 150%. I've never seen him take a game off. I've never seen him take a practice off. I'm telling you, like, there was times where, matter of fact, remember when Giannis got hurt in that Atlanta series? You remember that? In like the Eastern Conference Final? So he was out for about a week or whatever. And once we got to the finals, the practice before the finals was the first day that he actually practiced with us. Like the first day he practiced, he's going 150 miles an hour. I'm talking about like taking off a bum, like a bum leg. And we like, if you don't slow your ass down, because we don't need you for the day, bro. We need you tomorrow.
Right.
Like that's the type of mentality and hunger that Giannis has every single game, literally in everything he does on the court.
I had seen on some documentary, or was it the show? Some show where
Starting Five wasn't he?
Yeah, Starting Five. He got injured and he was literally trying to go back and play like right away. Like he didn't care about the injury at all.
He don't.
So that was the time of that taping. It was during that time.
That's literally him, bro. He like he'll try to fight through anything, like literally any type of injury or whatever. But he don't know how to cruise. He don't know how to take it easy. He also the cheapest, some bitch that I know. He got all that money.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's just because, you know what I mean, where he started from, he ain't had no, like he really didn't have no money. And now he's still like he ain't got no money.
You can't change that. Yep.
Nah. But Giannis is one of my favorite people. I think you know what I mean? Especially me and him, I think we complemented each other very, very well. And it was fun. My time in Milwaukee was fun, man. Got my first chip. And then, you know, that's my man. So
should his brothers be on the team?
Oh shit, here you go.
You ain't gotta answer that.
What'd you say? What'd you
I
say?
said, should his brothers be on the team?
NBA player comparison.
No,
TA,
no
yeah, bro.
slander here.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. TA.
No
TA bring that energy
slander.
now.
This your Thanasis year.
Yeah, that's right.
This your Thanasis year. Yeah, no Thanasis slander over here, dog. I will say this, because I got to give Giannis his flowers too. Obviously, me being in the Midwest, playing in Indiana, I got to see him when he first got to Milwaukee. And I was like Milwaukee was little bros. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we was running shit in Indy. We was running that division. And then, so I got to see Giannis early. Back when Jabari was there, it was Giannis. It was just a super young team. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I ain't really see the vision in. I'm like, man, they can't, I knew they can't fuck with me here. And then hindsight now, like, this dude is, now I'm looking up at him. Like, I'm trying to get to this motherfucker now. So I do want to give him his flowers, man. Giannis has really turned it around. You did see, like, he did have that hunger and he did have that drive, regardless if the game showed it or his game was polished when he first came to the league or not. He had that it factor. It was something about him that was like, he don't give up. Like,
I like how he got buff on y'all. He got real.
Yeah, he got big, bro. I didn't know where that came from. He got swole.
Yeah, I think that goes to show, even for like the young hoopers, like, you can be a late bloomer and still be great.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you keep working, you know what I'm saying?
Work hard.
There's guys that are going to be above you, but it don't matter where you start, bro. It's literally about where you finish. And you see it around the league everywhere.
Jrue, I know you've talked about the trade from Milwaukee, and you've been involved in some interesting trades. I think you were a first-time All-Star and got traded immediately the following year. And I know you can, talk about how much you love the organization and stuff like that, but anyone that knows basketball knows how important you were in those Milwaukee Bucks winning that championship. Was it just a little bit sweet when you saw when the next year when they lost without you? Was there anything in you that just was like, yeah, you guys should have kept me?
Not when they lost without me, because I wanted to play against them. I seen that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted. Yeah. That's what I wanted. Because I've been on the other side of that. Yeah, I've been on the other side of that where I was in Milwaukee and we played against Boston and we lost in 7. They were one of the teams where, like, and again, they was my brothers and I knew what it takes and what they had been through. So, like, I really, like, yeah, you always want to be, you just want to show your old girlfriend that you're better than them. Nah, but you but them losing, nah, I want to see them succeed. I just didn't want them to beat us. And then obviously them being my homies, I had to flaunt it. Like, what I mean? Me going back and seeing them, I had the 2-time on the shoes. I had the gold shoes on. I was talking my shit, but it's really out of motivation, because I know even this year they might not have started off the way they wanted to, but they're still a good team.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they still have a chance to get to the level that they want to get to. But I wouldn't say that it's any, like, yeah, was I hurt? Yeah. But I also understand the business side of it.
All right, Jrue, we're going to wrap up here. We have our last segment here, and we have a new segment that we use with every guest, and it's called Chat PGT. And in this segment, we're going to quiz you and PG on your respective careers and see who gets the correct answer, you or Chat GPT. And this week's edition of Chat PGT is sponsored by MetaQuest. Expand your world. So first up, Jrue, what does Chat GPT consider to be your greatest defensive performance?
Defensive performance?
What's your best defensive performance? And I'm gonna say,
is that like one? Is that one moment, or is that?
Yeah,
like
we'll go game. I think it's game. I think like your best game. Like that's what you do. You playing games. Like, what was your best defensive game?
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, all I can think about is
it's a lot of them.
Jrue,
it's a lot of them.
Got defense,
all I can think
man.
about is all I can think about is moments, though. Like, my favorite moment is the steal to the lob.
What game was that?
Yeah, let's get a little.
It's like Game 5 of the NBA Finals, 2021.
Hey, that's our first right one. Yeah, Game 5 of the 2021 NBA Finals against the Phoenix Suns.
There we go.
Next up, Hey, let's keep it going. But Jackie, I might throw this to you, and I'll explain later. But next up, what 2000s NBA championship team would Jrue Holiday be best fit for, according to Chat GPT?
2000s?
What 2000s NBA championship team would Jrue Holiday be the best fit for?
The only one acceptable to me is the Lakers, but
that's the only one. I think you could get 2 for 2 here if you really, you're a defensive player,
team?
bro. Like what team is clamping?
Clamping. Known for clamping.
Detroit?
Yeah.
Hey, we got 2 for 2.
Detroit.
Jrue Holiday.
Okay.
The 2004 Pistons
what?
seemed like the best fit.
Team dark skin. You see all
Yeah,
the boys.
there you go.
We'll
take
it's all
it.
good. Step and Tayshaun. Yeah.
Steph and Tayshaun, Steph and TP.
Okay.
West Coast, though. West Coast.
Yeah, you already know.
P, we just got to keep it rolling. This one's going to be tough. If he can go here 3 for 3, I'll be impressed. But the next question is, what position in another sport does Chat GPT believe Jrue Holiday would be best suited for? And there's a few answers, so I just need you to get one of them right.
You could help me with the sport?
I want to hear your
Football?
thoughts first, and then I'll throw you some hints.
Yeah, let's say if it was football, what position?
Yeah.
What I would want to play was receiver, but they'd probably
what would
say
you be best
defender
at?
somewhere. They'd probably say a defender, either safety or even. But I'm too big to be a DB.
Wait, what was the first one?
I would say safety. I'd say safety.
Hey, Jrue is nice with ChatGPT segment.
I played safety.
Okay, what about soccer?
Too, so
what about soccer?
Yeah.
I was gonna throw
Soccer.
like maybe soccer, wifey. Where do you see yourself out there on that field?
Maybe.
You're a two-way guy.
Yeah.
Lauren Cheney.
Yes.
She must be upstairs, bruh.
This position's a two-way position, right? This is a two-way.
I would say like center mid, a midfielder somewhere. I could play both sides.
Hey, let's give it up for Jrue.
What would be my best position in soccer?
The 10.
The 10? What position is that?
That's attacking mid.
Attacking mid?
That's midfielder, right?
Midfielder, we'll take it. Thank you, Lord.
Midfield? Okay.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Tell you what,
They making me feel like I'm the ultimate athlete. This is great.
Hey, and for a bonus,
Yeah, if he gets this, I'm done.
if you play baseball, this position kind of, this is a defender, a
let him go.
defensive
Yeah,
position.
he's on fire.
He's on fire. He got this.
I mean, I'd only want to play shortstop. Or I guess
do Jrue got the script? Do he got the script?
No.
Because he
Okay,
can do
and
that,
Jackie,
right?
I don't know what to tell you.
Jrue,
I do a little bit of
this,
everything. I dabble.
The last question, I'm going to boycott it and pass it to Jackie to ask the question because I am loyal to Drake and I refuse to answer this question. So ask this question.
All I
got
ever wanted
you.
was a black
I got
grandson.
you.
So
Jrue,
Drake,
What-
I ain't doing
what-
it, bro. I ain't
Jrue,
doing it. Go ahead,
I
Jackie.
got
Ask
it.
him.
Drew, what song would represent Jrue Holiday from Kendrick Lamar's newest album, GNX, according to Chat GPT? What song you thinking? I'll tell you what they said.
Scary, spooky, hilarious.
Let him answer it.
Nope, don't. You gonna give him the wrong?
Hold on.
You got to go back and be like,
Only one.
There's only one?
it represents
Only one
you,
answer.
not your favorite. What song represents you?
By the way, he got some bangers on here. Dallas, I don't know if you heard it.
No.
but-
I'm gonna keep it a buck. He's got a few, but most of it's whack.
What song you thinking? And Chat GPT gonna tell you.
Bro, I don't know. Squabble Up is tough to me.
Is that your answer? We not saying
No.
what's tough. We said what describes you. So that's what you picking?
I like Heart Part 6 too.
Chat said their choice was this right here.
Luther, bro.
Yeah.
My God.
Luther, man. Come on,
That's
man.
tough.
All right. Well, that was Chat PGT. Shout out Jrue. You nailed that. First guest, I think, got all the answers right. So shout out to you for that. Bunky,
Hey,
I
man.
know we got a 2-minute report. What we got for this week?
I appreciate it, P. This week's edition of the 2-Minute Report presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go Sports Bar. First up, this week's story involves the NBA, Beyonce, and the NFL. Now, fellas, your two teams compete on Christmas Day. Now, this was once the thought of an annual tradition in the NBA, but then the NFL seems to be trying to steal that from y'all. So not only do they have games this year, but Beyonce will be performing at halftime the same exact time the Celtics and the Sixers will be playing. So fellas, I just got to know this, and y'all can keep it real. Is the NFL out of pocket for taking over Christmas from the NBA? And I got to know this, do players even care, or is it just, it's whatever?
Jrue, would you like to handle this one first?
I'm not gonna lie. Growing up it was always basketball for me. I knew I was watching basketball Christmas morning. I ain't never really even thought about watching football on Christmas morning. Maybe going outside and throwing the football a little bit, but for the most part, bro, I knew a Laker game was going to be on, so I was tuned in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I do love the growth of the NFL, right? They're getting Christmas Day games. I think that's one of the most special moments about the NBA is the opportunity to play on Christmas. That's cool. I guess the NFL is getting that, but I feel like that day will always be NBA's day, regardless of, obviously Beyonce is Beyonce. I don't want the beehives to come for me.
Yeah, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
I know. I'm a big fan of the Beyonce. I'm a big fan of the beehives and all of that. I get it. But I think the NBA on Christmas Day is just something special about that. You can't replace that.
What about you, Jrue? Talk to me.
Especially remember when the NBA had the Christmas Day jerseys that had the cursive and all that.
Yeah, I missed that.
You know what I'm saying? It was just something. It was something different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was something different about it that you knew it was Christmas time when you knew basketball was coming on Christmas Day. And again, no offense to football because I love watching football, but it's basketball season though. That's kind of what we do. And like P said, it really is an honor to play on Christmas Day. It's like nothing else.
That's God's day, man.
That's God's day. Like we don't play games on Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Like that's
100%. Don't want to.
That's NFL. Exactly.
That's NFL.
It's football.
Yep.
We want to watch football. We want to eat and watch football.
But I tell y'all
this, all day.
I'm tired of seeing Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving, and that's my team. And I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it. But yeah. Go ahead, Pete.
Before we wrap, Jrue, I'm going to shout out your mom real quick. I'm going to put a little pressure on her because I always do it every time I see her. My dad is allergic to chicken pea, so growing up, I never really had chicken. And Toya Holiday used to always promise me that she was going to invite me over and make some chicken. So Toya, if you're watching this, I just want you to know I still have not got the chicken that you promised, and I love you.
That's Miss Toya to you,
Dude, I ate that a million times.
Hey, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to go ahead, Jrue. My bad.
No, I'm saying he went at mom's on.
I want my chicken, bro.
You can't call moms out.
I want my chicken, Toya.
Can't call moms out.
I want my chicken.
Hey, Miss Toya, put a little extra hot sauce. Make put a little extra kick to it.
Make him grow his hair back.
Hey, this is a special occasion right here. Jrue, we want to thank you. We appreciate you coming on to the show. This is a special occasion right here. Dal, I think it's only right that you do the outro in this one.
Jrue, thank you for coming on the show. We're proud of you. We love you. Going to be watching you throughout the rest of the season, and you keep doing your thing, and just we love you, man. So thanks for being on the show. It's about time. We'll see you guys on the next episode of Podcast P.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, Jrue.
Hey, man. Thank y'all for having me, bro.